Hello again, everyone. Welcome back. And I'm sampling the new Delirium from Diesel, which I'll be reviewing soon. But this is not a typical review. This is a cigar lounge review. We went to Washington, D.C. this weekend, just got back today. And of course, this is during the big coronavirus outbreak, and everybody's scared to travel. Well, we had this on the books and we went anyway. I can tell you this, the airports are quite light. The flight up there, and it's a direct flight from here in Columbia, South Carolina to Washington. The plane was probably a third full both ways. Nobody had to sit side by side. Rather small American Airlines plane, two seats on each side, just going straight up to Washington from Columbia. And I sat by myself. On the flight up, I actually did sit next to Connie. But coming back, we did not sit next to each other. We didn't have to. We spread out and had plenty of room. And there was nobody sitting side by side. So very light. But we had a good time. And all the government buildings were shut down. But we got to see the things and the monuments from the outside. Saw the White House and Lincoln Memorial, Washington Monument, various things, and even took a trip on Saturday to Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, where I got to see some of my personal favorite people, Abraham Lincoln, Ronald Reagan, and of course, Donald Trump. And what visit to a wax museum to see icons of history would be complete without offering a cigar to Fidel Castro and the one and only Winston Churchill. Now, we found a fantastic cigar lounge there, Shelly'S Back Room. Is located at 1331 F Street, Northwest in Washington, D.C. Now, Shelly'S is a full-service lounge. I've never been to one that had everything. This lounge had a great sitting area, actually two, plenty of tables. They served food, and the food was fantastic. And they had a full bar, beer, wine, and liquor. I've never been to a cigar lounge that had everything. Now, if you go there, they are known for their wings. Best in Washington is what it was voted as. I did not have them this time, but I can tell you that the Shelly'S burger is fantastic. And the chicken fajita wrap is amazing. Those two things are great. We actually were there for lunch and dinner both nights. It was a short walk from our hotel. Club quarters is where we stayed, and we walked there and walked back both nights. Actually, we did a lot of walking in Washington. That's a very spread out place. A lot of things weren't running, so we had to do some walking, unless you wanted to pay exorbitant cab rides. But we just walked, took our time. Now, Shelly'S has lockers out the yin-yang. I mean, there's lockers in two rooms, all on one wall, but if you can enter from one way and enter from the other way, you can see here the lockers that are numerous. Plenty of a sitting area. The bar, as you can see here. And when I took these pictures, it was actually at lunchtime on Saturday. Well, by Saturday night, the place was full. And that's sort of typical. But it was unusual in this situation of this time we live in, but it was plenty of people out and about. Now, one thing I found interesting about Shelly'S is it is always a bad move to bring your own cigars into a cigar lounge or cigar store. Shelly'S sells cigars. They sell numerous cigars, all the top cigars of the year, top line cigars, plenty of cigars. But one thing that they don't mind, if you're going to come in and eat and drink, you can bring your own cigars. I saw plenty of people bring their own. I saw plenty of people buy cigars, and they have extensive cigar menu pages. You order a cigar, the girl brings it to you, cuts it, lights it, whatever. Now, they'll do that. Either way, I always bring my own, so since we spent plenty of money on food and drinks, there was no big deal. There is a sign when you walk in the door, $20 per minimum charge per person. While I don't know how strict they are about that, if you're spending money in there, they're okay with it. I have a feeling if you went in there with your own cigars and sat down and ordered water and sat there for 2 hours, you're going to get hit with a $20 minimum, and you should be. But it's a very, very nice place. But this is an excellent, excellent cigar lounge, and one of the best, if not the best, I've been in because it had everything. So if you find yourself in Washington, D.C., look up Shelly'S Back Room. You will not regret it.